Can you settle a personal injury case before your medical treatment is over? Well, the short answer is yeah, you can settle anytime you want. But the better question is it a good idea? Well, maybe not. A lot of times, if somebody gets into an accident, it gets reported up the chain, the insurance company hears about it, they'll give a quick call, say, hey, heard you're injured, let me just cut you a check for a couple $1,000 and we'll get this thing resolved. It sounds like a good idea because you really haven't had much medical treatment yet, and that'll wrap everything up and be nice and convenient. It'll be especially convenient for the insurance company because you're going to sign a waiver that says I'm giving up all rights that I know about and all future rights related to this accident. So that way, if you come back to the insurance company later, they'll hold up that piece of paper, say, too bad, so sad, you already gave up all your rights, so you can't bring a claim against us now. And yes, that is going to probably be valid in court. So, back to the original question, is it a good idea to settle your personal injury lawsuit claim before your treatment is done? Well, it depends. If it's very minor accident with very minor treatment and you think you might have a few more chiropractic visits, you're feeling pretty good and you're going to be done, well, yeah, sure, it's probably not a bad idea. But on the flip side of it, if you have some somewhat significant injuries, you're still treating and you don't really know what your prognosis is going to be, you could be a bad idea. And a lot of times in a accident, you'll have somebody with some sort of soft tissue. It doesn't seem like a really big deal at first. They'll treat for a while, but then after a few weeks, you're not getting better. So then maybe there's some MRIs, and maybe MRIs are going to find some damage. Maybe there's going to be a need for surgery. So in most jurisdictions, your statute of limitations, which is the time you have from the date of the injury until you can bring a lawsuit, is measured in years. I think there might be 1 year somewhere, but most jurisdictions are 2 years, some are 3 years, some are even more. So you're not in a rush to settle your claim. It's a really good idea to have a really good picture of your medical prognosis before you settle the claim. So if you've got a doctor you've been treating a while and your doctor says, look, you're going to need this surgery in the future, and then you're going to need this much rehab afterwards, and the insurance company comes to you and says, hey, we want to settle your claim, but you know where your treatment's going to go. You've got estimates. You can say, all right, my future surgery is going to be X tens of thousands of dollars, and my rehab is going to be this much, and you think you've got a pretty good idea of where it's going to go, and you think everything is going to go well, and you're willing to risk it, then, okay, maybe it's a good idea to work on negotiating your settlement based on your future medical needs, your future pain and suffering, and all of that. If you're not really sure, it's definitely a smarter idea to wait a while, because if you do settle your claim and it turns out you have more medical treatment necessary in the future, well, once you get that check and sign on the dotted line, your claim is over. So if later on you do need more treatment, or it turns out that your injuries are much more severe than you knew at the time, you're kind of screwed. So in general, it's a good idea, if you have a significant claim, to get through at least the bulk of your treatment before considering settling, because you do have time. Now, if you have questions about when to settle and you happen to be in Nevada where I practice law, feel free to give me a call or drop me an email and we can talk about it.